How are we all? Sorry, I'm afraid you've only got me for this one. Nads is going to do the members live later today. We're both divvying things up because we're both feeling absolutely rotten, and we didn't want to let you down. So you've got me rather than nothing. How are we all, guys? How are you all? I mean, obviously, as you probably know, we're all clear, but we feel ghastly. Does anyone else feel ghastly? Absolutely ghastly. Achy. You know when you get that thing where if you touch your skin, it's a bit like, oh, it's a bit kind of, oh, all that kind of stuff. So I've come up here because the girls are uh, downstairs on the sofa. Nads is downstairs on the sofa. How are you, Gabrielle? How is everyone? So afternoon teas. When we thought of this earlier, we were thinking, oh, what fun we could have with afternoon teas. We tease you into the afternoon. It could be a third category so that we have the flexibility of doing a morning, coffee moaning, wine o'clock, or an afternoon tease. Let's do some hellos. Coconut Island, Claire Stanley, Steffi Quinlan, Kelly Stedman, Lucy Heaney, Kate Finds a Pen, Jenny Scam, Nicola Higgins, Gabrielle, Ellery Jones, Clodagh Egan, Turquoise Turtle, Deborah Millington, Sharona. It's your ninth wedding anniversary on Tuesday. Happy anniversary for Tuesday. Remind us on the day. Unless you've got better things to do than being on here, which I'm sure you will have. It's our 20-year snogiversary on tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, and we're doing a live No Name Sunday show. All being well, it might be a little bit later if we have a bad night. But it's 90. Is it number 91? I think it is 91. Afternoon, Alison Fisher, Nanny Bluebell, Sharon McGann, Shelley Silver, Clodagh Egan. I've said you already. Nanny Bluebell said you already. Salsa Trish, woohoo! Congratulations, congratulations to Sharona too. Afternoon RM's Jams. Happy Snogiversary. I think this should be a new thing, the Snogiversary, because there's the anniversary, obviously, of when you formally get together. But there's often that mucky bit, isn't there, before? Well, I say mucky in a nice way. There's that sort of wooing, there's that sort of flirting, there's that sort of that annoying piece of hair. There's that sort of dating and all that kind of stuff. But really, at the beginning, often it started with a kiss. Maybe we should call it a kissiversary. No, snogiversary. I'd love a snog. It's been 5 years, says Kim Lakides. Oh, sweetie. I'm sure you'll get another snog. It's not all it's cracked up to be, actually. It's a lot of all that kind of stuff. Watch Love Island. It's like, oh God, the sounds. Kissiversary, Lior. Snogiversary. Sharona, Mark, 20th anniversary today. No, it's not today. 23rd. 23rd? Is it the 23rd today? Don't tell me it's the 20. Is it the 23rd today? Guys, what date is it today? I thought it was tomorrow. 23rd is tomorrow, isn't it? Kiss your hand. Oh, I see. What date is it today? Was you nervous knowing that was... No, because I didn't even see it like that. I'd worked with lots and lots of presenters. Oh, it's the 23rd today. Oh, whoops. Well, she doesn't know... Okay, well, between you and me, she doesn't know what the hell's going on. Shit. Shit, we were going to go out as well. We thought it was tomorrow night. Oh my God, there was a Sunday show last year, wasn't there, where we forgot the anniversary? I mean, that was our wedding anniversary. So it's a snog. Okay, here's a question. What should I do tonight for our snogiversary? Given that she's unaware, you better go get a card. Do you think I should quickly make one? Maybe I should ask Kiki to make one. Happy. Okay, well, let's rewind. Happy snogiversary. It's my snogiversary. It's our snogiversary today. Did you know that? I was really interested in the guy. What was that? What's that? Was really. They're going up so fast. I think was really interested in the guy that started the High Five Mask Kid Gaming. Wasn't that interesting? In case you haven't seen, head over to the Weekly Rushes, number 3 this week. I'll pop it up there so you can see it. I think it's up there. Or was it up there? Let me see. No. It's up there. It's up there. In the Weekly Rushes, Jamie Lee Curtis has bought the rights to a really nice story around the act of high-fiving. But thank you, Mask Kid Gaming. I'm pleased you like that. It stood out for me. Please say my name, Emma Keith. Hello, Emma Keith. Have you tidied the clothes? Looks great. Uh, I'm just wearing a huge jacket that kind of covers it all over. Um, get a takeout, Ellery Jones. Yeah, Vietnamese or something like that. Make her a meal. Oh my God, I'm so tired and ill to make her a meal. Which first, jam or cream or scone? Jam first for me. Oh yeah, jam first for me as well. I'm sitting across a girl, says Lior, who really looks like a young Nanny Di. Wow. Well, you must be smitten because the young Nanny Di was stunning. I mean, she's lovely now, of course, but we're all a bit older. Chin chin. Having a little bit of this, bit of Dutch courage. Imagine if I was drinking and running this channel. Imagine that. There would be total carnage, wouldn't it? There'd be even more slapdash than it is. Hi, Mark from Kinnoul. Tim Reed. What is it about all the Tims in my life? You're all lovely. All the Tims in my life are all lovely. I had a very, very special thing sent to me this week, and I don't think I'll ever recover from how special it was when I opened it. So there you go. Get us some flowers. Yeah, I might rush out. I might rush out. I might rush that way, that way, that way, that way. She's oblivious. She hasn't got a clue. In bed with fly, says Miriam Morrison. Oh, that's odd. She wanted a subscription. I bet she did, Mel. I bet she did. Think I'd like 500 coffees today. Hi, Tim, and Tim. Thanks, Wonder Woman. Okay. Now, we were going to discuss, but I think it makes much more sense that Nads discusses the recent Kate Beckinsale post, which I thought was a really important and intriguing thought. The idea that, the press can be right arseholes. And, if you're highly educated or if you're super intelligent, somehow, you can't be if you're going to be in the public eye, and somehow, you have to, and I thought this was the most intriguing part, you have to sort of, a lot of women feel they have to dumb down somewhat or hide their intellect and intelligence around men. And I thought that would be, Sharona, we can. I thought that would be a really intriguing chat. We're thinking of doing it as a How to Stay Married as well. With 4 daughters out in the world, we always say to them, don't hide your knowledge under a bushel. What is a bushel? What is a bushel? Is it like a hay thingy? Is it like a thing of straw, bushel of straw or hay? So I think, it's interesting how sexism works in so many different ways. And I think one of them is how women feel they have to hide their knowledge in deference. It is a bundle of hay, thank you, Michu. In deference almost to men, because men's fragile egos couldn't cope with the idea that someone could be successful and highly intelligent and all these things and beautiful. See what I mean? So I think Kate proves you can be beautiful and highly intelligent, as do my daughters. So we'll save that chat because I think Nads really wanted to talk about it. I really wanted to talk about it, and there we go. So, guys, Orange Jams, that's a good idea. Write her a poem. There once was a boy called Mark who found himself in the park. I think you've done this before. When he went to the bog, he asked for a snog and thought, ooh, that would be a lark. Mark, you and Ads would love Nine Perfect Strangers. Just finished watching it. Natasha Tilmos, did you enjoy it? We really liked it. We've paused watching it because we found, I don't know, we like Nicole Kidman, but we just found her a little bit sort of, I don't know, there was sort of not much expression. I don't know, there was just something up with it. Make a cut flower bouquet from the green-fingered hell garden. The flowers have gone. Now, we've done some things, me and Nan. Oh yes. We're going to keep Green-Fingered Hell, even if it's cold, going. I've got Nan's commitment, Nanny Di's commitment. Nanny Di was going to be here tonight or last night for the members live, but she too has got a sore throat and doesn't feel well, so she's headed back. You have got the Dune review landing in a while. Nanny Di's there, so all sort of, we try and keep you entertained with all sorts of different stuff. I've just lost all your comments for a second. How's the doggies, Jenny Scam? Well, I'm really looking forward to taking them to the vets on Tuesday, and I'm really looking forward to using the new, what's it called? Mites spray, because I think they've got mites. Nicole Kidman was very robotic, I felt. Didn't connect with the character. No, I thought Michael Shannon, who played the dad, the older dad, was really good in it. We're going to start returning to reviewing more TV shows. Not maybe every episode, unless it's a live, a thing that's running every week. We started watching the Angela Black. Who's enjoying Angela Black? Kim, because we're doing a live Sunday show tomorrow, the next vlog, I think, is either landing tomorrow or Monday. Oh, no, hang on. Next vlog, proper vlog, is happening on Monday. You've got a little surprise thingy tomorrow, I think, landing later in the day. Just got to check with Eddie's agents. I think it's landing tomorrow. You love I like the actress in Angela Black. What's her name? Love her, Angela Black. I mean, it's very traumatic, isn't it? I mean, he's very. It actually nibbles very closely to what we're doing for our next new film that we're doing, all about coercive control. Yeah. Give it another chance to look beyond that, Mark, and you'll see how good it is subliminally. Highly recommend Nine Perfect Strangers. Remade W, there's so much about it I like, and they're sort of being micro-dotted, aren't they, with LSD. Succession Season 3 is great so far. We've seen episode 1. There is only episode 1, isn't there? Lorraine Barrett, you don't want to know. Joanne Froggatt, that's right. What else has she been in? What else has Joanne Froggatt been in? We started Maid. Thank you very much, Faith Goodman. Really liked it, but I'm struggling to get Nadia to watch a second one because I think she finds it quite, well, understandably, it's quite traumatic, though it's not as traumatic in a weird way as Angela Black. Sharona, 5 weeks to Vlogmas. My sober birthday on Thursday. Sharona, you're well across our anniversary diary, aren't you? Crikey, well done. Downton Abbey. Don't waste your time watching Maid. Really, Wonder Woman, do you think? I tell you what I started. Shh, don't tell no one. I think I said this the other day. Midnight Mass. I really, really like Midnight Mass. Vlogmas is coming. I've got a shitload of vlog to get out as well before then. You've got Cornwall. I think that amounts to about 6 vlogs I was looking at the other day. I cannot believe Mars Kid Gaming. I'm sorry, I feel a bit. I'm just looking for a tissue. I'm having a hot flush. Who said that? Mars Kid Gaming made. Yeah, the mother is Andy McDowell. She used to be a cracking actress. Well, she is a cracking actress, but I didn't believe her at all. Susan Davies, congratulations for being with us for 18 months. I'm thinking of doing this. You know the 24 months thing where you get a nice signed photo? I'm thinking of making it 24 months that you've been with us from the inception. Otherwise, we're all going to be about 96, aren't we, by the time we get there? Oh my God, Mark, Midnight Mass is brilliant. Sharon Love, Falmouth. So we're going to be hitting 24 months this coming, I think, January, I think. So I'm gonna have a meeting with Michelle and and Nadia, and we'll work it out. So thankful I can share my passion for film with you. Sophie R, it's lovely. Yes, please keep sharing. Anyone else who's a passionate film fan, or if you know someone who's a passionate film fan, do tell them to head over to the film corner of this channel. It's family, film, food, and fun. And I think that sums us up. I think it does. And fucking about. That could be in there as well. We lost interest towards the end. Natasha Tiramos, 20 months. We lost interest at the end of Married at First Sight UK. Did anyone else? We kind of just, I don't know. We haven't got to the very end. We haven't got to the altar to see whether... Hit the like button, guys. Just brush that down. Yeah. God, women's brushes are so nice, aren't they? So nice, but I don't need them for anything. Anne Hud, I still have not got my card. What? Send your address back to Michelle, please. I've got a few going out. Stuart, yours is going out. I think some people genuinely have postal problems. I think, like, you know, the stuff that just doesn't get there. Haven't seen The Last Duel yet, but I am seeing it. Now, let me just ask you, on the topics that we were going to discuss tonight, apart the one about women hiding their intellectual bushel under their bushel, boosters. Who's getting a booster here? Who's had a booster? Say had. Who's getting? Say getting. And who says no to boosters? What's on your shirt? Says Alison Fisher. Young blood. That's for all those haters out there. What I'd like to say to all those haters out there is, just don't fuck with us, man. We have had our booster, says Faith. Getting, James. Getting, had. No, who's that? No. Someone said no. Sonia Donovan, no. Why? Why? Do share with us why. I don't, yeah, I mean, we're feeling a bit. Tracy Gates, no. Not eligible yet. Afternoon, no. Had, Walk-in Hub, had. I will when I'm offered. Yeah, I mean, has anyone gone to get them and they're not there? Or you can't get them? There's not availability. Say yes if you've gone to get them and there's no one there, or there aren't any left. Because the story we seem to be receiving is that there aren't enough boosters. Do you think we're going to be boosted up to the hilt in time for Christmas? Do you think the booster... What do you agree with Rishi Sunak's statement today? Rishi Sunak, a self-confessed Star Wars fan, married to a multi-billionaire, but he's still got a sense of how much a loaf of bread costs. He hasn't, because he was asked on LBC and he didn't know. Rishi Sunak has vowed COVID booster jabs will prevent another lockdown amid a surge in cases and fears the NHS could be overwhelmed this winter. Do you think they're trying to they're saying this the mood music is that we just get a booster, guys? Oh, right, Shoshana, you'll need it if you want to travel, right? So the vaccine passport to travel means you're going to have the booster as well as the two originals. Wow. Rishi has also promised money for English cities in the next budget. It worries me that vaccine efficacy has lasted barely a year. Yes, boosters will help, but for how long, Gabrielle? Well, I think we're moving ineluctably, aren't we, towards boosters for boosters for boosters for boosters. And I think we're all going to be on an app. And God, that eyebrow seems to be, that gap between my eyebrows seems to be getting broader. And it's going to be Booster City. We're just going to keep being boosted until we die. Do you think now boosters are here to stay? Do you think we're just going to keep getting boosted? And is there going to be this strange thing where people compare and contrast? I've had 12. I've had 6. I've had none. Only if they aspirate, Nicola Higgins. Yes, John Campbell, if you don't know him, John Campbell. I can't begin to say who he is because we've talked about him so much. And Eddie's having an affair with him, to be honest, and John Campbell. Yeah, you need to respirate. Is that the word? Aspirate. They need to put it in your arm properly. Nadia Cowles, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think so, but they have to quarantine, I think. It's got to be 6 months after vaccine. Does anyone remember when we had ours? We kind of vlogged it, didn't we? I can't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't recall. I just don't know if boosters are going to be enough. Who thinks this Christmas is going to be an absolute... I'm going to swear, guys. If you don't like swearing, cover your ears. Who thinks this Christmas is going to be an absolute clusterfuck? And what I mean by that is, NHS creaking at the edges more than last year, and the virus going a bit nuts. And if you don't, please tell me, because I get a bit worried about it all, if I'm honest. Who knows? Arms jams, yes. Most people, yes. Ashley, hi Ashley. Yes, it looked like you had a great time, Ashley. I saw your photo just before coming on here. Yes, Boris is so slow with everything. Aspirate, Sharon Love Falmouth. Yes, but we will never be told. That's very true. We... 1 second. Excuse me. I don't think we're going to be told. I think if things went so wrong that if we, that we were, and they had to tell us like they told us everything in the first crisis, we'd all run for the hills. I don't think we're ever going to know. I don't think we're ever going to know unless something develops that's so fatal we have to run from the streets. I don't think we'll ever know. I think you're right, whoever said that just then. It will be what you make of it, says Catherine Hamblin. That's a very half-full approach to it. Nadia had first jab a week before me in March, so April, May, June, July, August. So yes, we are entitled to it. Okay. Oh, is it after your second? Urgent treatments will miss out, says Den James. I agree, Dawn Bolvin says Christmas is going to be messed up again. How many boosters will we need in the future, though? Presumably, the booster will... I don't know. I suppose they need to look into they need to study the ways in which vaccine, to what extent they wane when you've got a booster in there as well. Amber Grindley, we always had awful colds, coughs, and flus at Christmas, winter time. I think we've forgotten this during COVID, and it's made everyone worry when ill. Absolutely right. I leant over to Nadia this morning after forgetting it was our snogiversary, and I said, I think we've just got a normal cold that our body could have dealt with normally in the past. But now, we can't. We just can't. So there we go. Me Too. Of course, if there is something contentious in Rishi's October budget, they might talk about Plan B to distract the media. You're absolutely right, MeTube. They kind of have all their things and they go, push that one forward, and let's do all this over here. Push that story forward, and we'll just get on with this over here. It's just the way of the world, it's the way of politics. Well, how can we change things? Guys, we all need to march on Westminster. Me, you, and the rock steady crew. On a more serious point, you've probably been following the tragic story of Helena Hutchins, the director of photography, cinematographer on the film Rust that Alec Baldwin tragically and accidentally shot dead. By all accounts, they were filming a close-up of the gun being fired. Alec Baldwin was told by the armourer, and the armourer is obviously like armour. The armourer is a member of the props team who deals with guns. When he was handed the gun, he was clearly told that it was, not, it wasn't it didn't have a gun in it. It didn't have a bullet in it. And the tragedy is that there was shrapnel in the barrel or in the gun, and the rest we know. The director has recovered, or is recovering, or has certainly left hospital. But of course, tributes are pouring out for the dear cinematographer. She was 42. She had a child. Did she have one or two children? She was married. Just tragic. The industry is in sort of total unity, just appealing to her. But I genuinely think, what do you think about Alec Baldwin? I mean, it's sad in so many different ways for so many different people, isn't it? I think, and what one mustn't bring to bear on a story like this is anything one thought of Alec Baldwin before. Because this kind of tragic accident, I'd have thought he'll be absolutely, well, not furious isn't the right word. He's been in touch with Helena's family. Intriguing, someone said. Why do you think it's intriguing? I know what you mean. Intriguing. It's a curious word. Rachel Marsh, tragic and intriguing. I think people are kind of wondering whether it seems very odd that it happened, but, the 911 call came in as well, and I think one of the papers or an American publication got hold of the 911 call, and I think the script supervisor put the call in. The script supervisor obviously sits there with the script, and when they're shooting it, if they come off script, he will make amendments. If the writer or director wants to make amendments, they'll put it on the script. It's like having a master template. She or he was the one that phoned made the 911 call, and they were furious with the first assistant director, who by all accounts had been rushing things along. And I think, what we could see here is quite a blame game situation go on. This will be hijacked for gun control laws. Catherine Hamblin. Betcha. Well, presumably you're saying that from a position of being pro-gun laws. I think I'm right in saying news say real bullets, not shrapnel. That suggests it could be that's very odd. I believe Alec Baldwin has been very, very outspoken against the rifle and gun lobby. If you wanted to get into conspiracy theories and think, well, could it be the gun lobby wanting to frame him or whatever? This isn't the way to do it, because as someone just said, Catherine just said, this would run against gun control, wouldn't it? Against gun freedoms. Faith Goodman, why wasn't the gun stripped and cleaned? You're absolutely right. Should have been. Props. I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that the one person who is not guilty of anything is, in terms of intent, is Alec Baldwin, or in terms of neglect, because there'll be many situations where think of the westerns, think of Tarantino westerns, where you will point something directly at the lens, Well, you aren't, if you're not expecting a bullet to come out, that's fine, isn't it? They'll add that. They'll add the effect. Sorry. I just think it's so sad. But things like this happen more than you think. I think I said earlier this morning or yesterday, Vic Morrow, I think, was killed by a helicopter that crashed. Stuntmen are very often dying. There's all sorts of tragic stories of stuntmen being hit and struck and hurt. Harrison Ford, had a terrible injury, didn't he, on the set of Star Wars? So anyway, it's tragically sad, and all of our thoughts and everyone's thoughts are with the family. And Fran, they can add the effects, and why don't they? Well, if there was a real bullet in there, we've got a real problem. A real problem. Ironic, they were filming a Western. I also believe it was a Western about, I think part of the story was about someone accidentally shooting someone. I could be wrong, but I think you might find that that's the case. Sorry. Terrible cough. Sorry if you're listening on headphones. Oh. Yeah, deeply tragic. Deeply tragic. Vic Morrow, well, I did not know that. Vic Morrow was Jennifer Jason Leigh's dad. I did not know that. Right, though, was it Vic Morrow? I'm sure it was on the set of Twilight Zone, a movie version of Twilight Zone. Not feeling great, Hazel. We're all a bit peaky. That's why I'm sort of holding the fort for this live, and I think Nadia's going to do the members live later tonight. Because you need to win some cards, and anyone who hasn't had a card, please contact Michelle and explain. Yeah, tra-la-la, absolutely right. The gun was given to him with the words, "It's cold," which means unloaded. So tragic. Yeah. Alec did nothing. Alec did nothing wrong. He's not going to, with a camera filming him, actively shoot someone. Do you know what I mean? So, hope springs eternal hope. So now this story I thought would really, well, interestingly, we were talking, our next podcast, our next Confessions of a Modern Parent podcast is about the nightclub scene in this country and the problem with drink spiking, but as we talked about earlier this week, injection spiking incidents. And it's the first time we've done this. We have 3 young, incredibly impressive young women who are campaigning for nightclubs to put more measures in place to prevent this from happening. Though in our chat with them, as we were saying, it's very hard to know what you can do if people are going around injecting people. And this is happening. So this story here, which I'll do before the last one, just shocking, 164. There have been 164 drink and injection spiking incidents across the UK in 2 months. Now, if you don't know what that is, a drink being spiked is where, you go, this is terrible. This happens far more than you think. You go into a bar, you go into a pub, and you order your drinks, you turn away to talk to someone, and someone drops something in your drink to Rohypnol or ketamine is happening a lot now, to knock you out or to certainly make you queasy and dozy, and then a lot of women are being sexually assaulted or raped. That's if they do it into your drink. Now, a new I wouldn't want to call it craze or vogue, but a new thing is developing where men are injecting women. Again, they believe with ketamine or other sort of date rape drugs. Ellen, I've been spiked. Remember nothing so horrid. It really is horrid because in a weird way, what I've heard from survivors is you are aware that something has happened, but you're not aware of what has happened at all. So you don't even have the trauma, the consciousness of the trauma of what has happened if it happened to you without drugs in your system, if you see what I mean. So there's a sort of double trauma there. So 164 in 2 months. The National Police Chiefs Council revealed there had been around 140 confirmed cases, 24 involving some form of injection. These are reported, but just talking to these young ladies today, there's just lots in Leeds, in Nottingham. It's happening a lot more. And so we were just talking about what on earth can you do? What would you suggest, guys? What do you do? You can, lots of pubs put sort of coverings over their drink, Quite a good suggestion, if you're all right with drinking, was to have a shot, because it's very hard to put stuff in a smaller glass. But then you run the risk of getting too drunk. You know, the point about this is the onus should not sit with the women to solve this. The onus should sit with the men and with the institutions and the clubs that they're going to, right? But what can they do? We have a bouncer shortage like we have an HGV driver shortage. What do we do? What's the solution, guys? What are you thinking? Kate finds a pen. That's who we've spoken to for Confessions of a Modern Parent, Girls' Night In campaign. They're gonna appear on our, or you'll hear them on our Confessions of a Modern Parent next coming up. Faith Goodman, the needles being reused again and again brings another danger to it from infections. Yeah, and we hear a story, a first-hand story of a woman who was injected and has had to go through all sorts of tests, hepatitis tests, had to have so many other vaccinations, tetanus, all that kind of stuff. You know, this is, and what gets me, what really gets me, when we talk, we're going to be talking, you know, it's in the podcast, and we talked about it earlier this week. And interestingly, we featured it on Coffee Moaning before anyone else was really talking about it, and now it's kind of popped up the news thing. It's really important these things get discussed. Is the fact that what really gets me is that we now have this idea that when we say to our girls when they go out, it's like, well, make sure you cross the road properly, make sure you don't drink too much, make sure you don't get spiked. It's now become one of the things on a list of potential problems when you go out, which normalises it. Jenny Scanmore checks on entry. I think there has to be. I think, you know what, I would insist on all clubs having scanners, and you have to put everything through it. They're talking about having people walking around the bar. In some instances, with spiking, it happens by the actual barmen. So they pour you a drink and they put one in towards the end of the night. I don't know what the answer is. More cameras, Della Nixon? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see someone just kind of do that, though, are you, on a dance floor? I've heard it's sometimes young women injecting other young women orange jams. I think it's far, maybe, but it's far less often, I think. I think it's far less often. Sophie R. Mark, you just explained what it's like perfectly. I was sexually assaulted in New York after being spiked. You're aware something has happened, but cannot remember the details. I'm just going to flip you off and put you on 4G, guys. Just going to flip you off and put you on 4G. It works better. Is that better? Am I back? Am I back? No, I'm just trying to quality. Let's put it to there. Hopefully that'll work. Is that better? All good now. Oh no, that's horrible. I can see it. Okay, I'm going to put you back to Wi-Fi. Back. I'm now back on Wi-Fi. Hopefully that'll work. Pixelated but audio okay. Fine, back. Yeah, there's no hierarchy, but I'd have thought even removing the capacity to heal yourself around what has happened to you adds another layer, right, Sophia? I'd have thought. What? To know that something's happened, but to not know what's happened? Just awful. Creatorholic, long term needs to be zero tolerance with all crime. Come down hard on small things and people are less likely to escalate to worse things. Look after that. I totally agree. Zero tolerance. If for those 104, for those 200 cases, or nearly 164 cases, whatever it is, that have happened, they need to throw the book at them so that other men, and some women, I get that, but other men know not to do it again. I think people do it because they know they can do it. So obvious. As a parent, it drives me nuts. Okay, this story I thought would break your heart. So, COVID. Has anyone here bought a dog in lockdown? Has anyone here bought a dog in lockdown? I've got a very dry mouth. Just seeing if Nadia's got any water. No. She's got a copy of Doctor Strange, though. That's odd, isn't it? No. Sniffer dogs and clubs. Yeah, I think so, me too. No. Got two already. Your cousin has arms jams. Okay. Yes, Catherine Clausen. Okay, well, this is not to, right. This story is not to suggest that everyone who's bought a dog in lockdown is doing this, has done this, or is going to do this. But I just thought it was a really sad little story here that COVID, dogs bought in lockdown are being abandoned. And people are trying to pretend that their dogs are stray dogs by bringing them into I don't know, charities and bringing them into rescue centres and what have you, and claiming that they found them. They found them on the street, or they found them sort of around their house or whatever. Charity staff said some dog owners have called a dog warden and pretended their own pet is a stray, or they'd taken the dogs directly to a rescue centre claiming they'd found it abandoned. And here's an example. 1-year-old Maggie, an old English sheepdog crossed with a golden retriever, was taken in as a stray, but the next day staff saw a recent advert on Gumtree asking for £500 for her. Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? I just, stray dogs. Does anyone remember in the 70s? Stray dogs were everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And everywhere you went in the streets, there'd be white dog poo. I think because they ate, when we did that film, I think it's because they ate more bony, marrowy stuff, actually. But there were stray dogs everywhere. And there used to be, I remember we used to play out in the streets. We used to play on building sites, I've said it before, climb under corrugated iron and all that. And you'd go certain parts of where we kind of played, Ladbroke Grove, you'd go, don't go down there, there's so many stray dogs. Do you remember that? Well, that's a good suggestion. Just going back to the spiking. Zivil Sikta, get drinks only in small bottles. I think maybe serving drinks in bottles with a really narrow neck is not a bad idea. You're not allowed to take bottles in whenever Maddie's gone to a club, and because of course they don't want you to bring alcohol in, they want to sell you it. But maybe that's the idea. Maybe you sell drinks only in bottles with a really, so they taper up. I mean, not like this, obviously, but they taper up to a really thin thing. I mean, it's very difficult to drink, but hey, you know what? Go to a club and have a dance. Maybe drinks elsewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I used to club. I was saying to Nat the other day, I don't think I ever particularly enjoyed nightclubbing, to be honest. Yeah, so yeah, stray dogs, thing of the past, but people are pretending that they've got stray dogs. Now, head over to the Popcorn Junkies Instagram account. There's a live competition happening over there. So if you put the Popcorn Junkies into Instagram, head over there and you've got a photo that if you identify the film it's in and follow a couple of rules that Michelle's laid out, hashtag and copy other people in, you could be in with a chance to win cinema tickets. And most people who have won cinema tickets, they've run about £40, so they've been able to get popcorn too. So do go over there, do enter. It's a funny photograph. You've got to guess what film the photograph is from. But also over there at the Popcorn Junkies, you'll find there's a story about Van Diesel. I like this story. This story I thought was really heartwarming. I just need to find it because I want to remember the daughter's name. Poor old Judy Love, hey? She's not in tonight's show, is she? Because of COVID. Here we go. Van Diesel has walked. Now, do you remember the tragedy of Paul Walker, the star of Fast and Furious, when he died in that terrible car smash and then the fire that engulfed his car? Well, Van Diesel was the godfather of Paul Walker's daughter. And Van Diesel walked Paul Walker's daughter down the aisle today as she got married in the Dominican Republic. And what a lovely thing, eh? What a lovely thing. It was a really important day. And she got married on what would have been the 48th birthday of her father. Isn't that lovely? And there's such a sweet photograph on. So go to Meadow, as in a field, Meadow. Go to Meadow Walker's Instagram and you'll see a lovely photo of Van Diesel walking her up the aisle with a beautiful sea behind them and everything. Really lovely. And I love a heartwarming story. We don't often sort of report or, talk about them, do we? So that's why we popped it on the Popcorn Junkies. Go over there, you'll get more of the story. As I say, Nadia will be doing a members live later. It might be quite swift because she's not feeling great, but we do want you to have the opportunity to win some cards, and she needs to preserve her energy so she can do the No Name Sunday show tomorrow. 2 dishes, don't you know? And if I'm feeling fitter, I will be driving that so that she doesn't have to work too hard. And that's about it, really. As I say, there's a special odd vloggy type thing landing tomorrow, and then back to normal business on Monday. If you come off this, there's the Dune review, just landed, if you fancy going to see Dune. And otherwise, have a safe evening. And obviously, the next time we do a afternoon tease, the missus will be here, and she'll be very teasing. We can tease each other. So see you later, guys. Stay safe. There's always something landing on the channel. Bye. Happy Snoggiversary. Oh God, you've reminded me. I need to go. What the hell do I do? Maybe I